Welcome to this epic disaster, and it is a disaster. This is like a sick bay. See what I'm saying?
Sorry.
Just a little background. Okay, so I feel like we talk a lot about sickness on the show.
That's because I'm just a mess.
For the first couple of weeks of 2020, you had an eye issue.
I still do.
And then this week, you have the creeping death.
I have the plague.
Yeah, something like that.
Yes.
So we won't go too far into it, but
you had to come over here again.
Yeah.
To record. This is what, the third time in a row?
Well, my wife just got over it, and I got lucky. I actually I got through it.
Interesting.
Was
she actually diagnosed with the flu?
No, but she had it pretty bad.
I do not have the flu.
Last week, I felt pretty bad. I thought I was going to get it. Went right over it. I went out and bought a bunch of echinacea and what's the other thing that I bought? The cold ease or whatever.
Yeah, my doctor, the doctor that I saw anyways, says that this is more like bronchitis.
Bronchitis usually starts like mild and then turns into.
Yeah.
So, I'll try not to have you talk too much. What we should do first, though, so we're going to do usually we do a live beer review at this time of the show. You're okay over there. You can turn your mic off when you cough if you want to.
I will.
So other people don't have to hear it. Oh, no, don't do that because it turns mine off too, I believe. Anyway.
I just won't cough.
Yeah, or just pull it way out of the way or something like that.
I just won't breathe.
Something like that. We do not have a live beer review. We have a special thing. I thought you might need a hot toddy.
I like hot drinks when I'm sick.
So I bought this drink, which is I'm hoping will be good hot.
What is it called again?
I don't know. All I know is when I bought it, I bought the only drink that the store didn't know what the price was. I had to stand in line for 10 minutes while they waited.
While they went and looked for
researched.
Okay, so this is Wyndridge Farm Brewing, and it's a Crafty black cherry hard apple cider.
So that sounds pretty good.
And we have decided to heat it up to drink it.
Hot. And it's got a squirrel on the front. I don't know what that...
It has a squirrel with an apple and a suit and a tie and a watch.
Yeah.
And he looks very dapper.
Okay.
He's a dapper squirrel.
Right.
But yeah, I like hot... Like, I used to love hot... wine coolers.
That's what I always had when I was sick. Hot wine.
Sick.
You can't find. I can't find wine coolers anymore.
I was under the impression that Bartles and James was coming back.
I did too. That's what I was looking for. Bartles and James.
The original. That was the best when you were sick. It's like Theraflu with a little extra something.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try some.
Okay.
Have you already had it yet?
I did taste it just to see how hot it was.
Ooh. Okay. That wasn't what I thought.
Well, it's certainly not Bartles and James.
It doesn't taste like apple cider.
What does it taste like to you?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, it is a black cherry apple cider.
Maybe it wasn't meant to be heated up. I'm not sure.
I don't mind it so much, but then again, I can barely taste anything. So.
All right. So you might notice I got another haircut today.
I see that. I'm not sure why.
Okay. So I, like back in December, like a couple weeks before Christmas, my hair was long, like shoulder length almost, and I just decided I want it cut. So I got it cut really, really short.
Right.
And it's been getting a little shaggy. So I thought, okay, I'm going to get it trimmed up. So I've been kind of using as my model, or I decided to use as my model, old Tom Waits hairstyle. I don't know if you remember, but he's like really long on the top and then short on the sides.
Yeah, yeah.
Because my hair's kind of like his, little. I was telling my wife, it's like if you're getting Tom Waits' haircut, you're getting Kramer from Seinfeld's haircut.
Basically,
it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
So, so I go to the person who cut my hair last time because I like the way she did it, and so she cuts it. She does almost buzz cuts the side, runs up the back and the side, so it's really short, and didn't do much at all on the top. Just kind of trimmed it up. That's what I wanted.
Sure.
And then she said, "Do you want me to line your beard?" And I didn't know what that meant. Line your beard.
Yeah.
And I said, "What is that?" She said, "Just trim it up, to get the alignment at the bottom." I was like, "Oh, okay." I've never had an experience like that. On Bugs Bunny, and this is going to kind of date me, I guess, but on the old Looney Tunes Bugs Bunny, when they're doing Barber of Seville, and he's got Elmer Fudd in the chair, and they're playing da 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 da.
I think so.
He's got the
warm
straight
towel.
razor.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
he's going just cutting all over his face. And then he puts plaster on his face, and he puts plants in his hair and all that. But he's just like going crazy over his face, chopping his face. That's what I felt like. That woman was not gentle at all with any kind of shaver, razor. It was uncomfortable. I almost,
Really?
yeah, I felt like punching her a couple times.
She cut you?
At one point, it felt like she cut my lip. She was just, I mean, really just going. There was like no, she wasn't being careful. And I thought, is she just randomly cutting? She had like a buzz thing, and she was just going just all over my face.
Oh my gosh.
And it felt like she was just like cutting random places in my beard. It was the weirdest thing. Now, I didn't want my beard cut.
Right.
She cut it so short, it's almost not even there.
I noticed that.
I didn't ask for that.
Did you pay for that?
Well, I didn't. I guess I had to. She asked for if I wanted my beard lined, and that's what I thought. So,
But she trimmed it a lot.
way short. Now, my beard grows pretty fast, and so does my hair. So in a couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, it's going to be back. I'm not worried about it.
You have that devil cut on your beard that I used to call your devil cut. When it's super short and it's kind of dark,
Yeah.
it's got that evil look.
But
to
I
it.
didn't want that.
I know.
I didn't ask for that.
I know.
So anyway, I got that. But I don't know that I'm going to go back to her now because I liked her the way she did it the first time. But I did not like, there are some people when you get your hair cut, they don't know how to operate a comb.
Yeah.
It hurts when they rake it through your head and they'll scratch your ear.
Yeah.
And that's what this person was doing.
That's weird.
Yeah.
So I liked your hair the way that you got it cut last time.
It'll be there in a couple of weeks. It grows so fast.
That's true.
But I did that on purpose. I knew it was going to be too short, but I did it so it would grow out to where I want it because I want the top much longer than the sides. So when the sides kind of get out to where they need to be, the top will be so much longer.
So I don't have that problem. I cut my own hair.
Okay.
I don't always do it right, and I don't always like it afterwards, but I kind of have to live with it.
Yeah.
Like I just cut off about an inch of it, and I like it. It looks okay. But all I did was just pull it, part it down the middle, pull it on either side, and just chopped it with scissors and just called it done. But because my hair has curl to it, you can't tell if it's not straight or not.
Right.
And I really don't care.
Well, I wasn't happy with the whole experience, but it's done and it's short, and I just went home and.
And your wife saw it?
Yeah, she likes it okay. She says it's too short,
Yeah.
but she also knows how fast it grows, so it's no big deal. So
Cool.
I got home and have you ever done neti pot? I did the neti pot.
Yeah.
I think that's why I haven't gotten sick because my wife had the sickness for 2 weeks and
The
still
sickness.
a little bit has it. But I've been doing neti pot almost every day.
Okay.
And I think if you don't know what neti pot is,
It's basically a way to rinse out your sinuses. They have a pouring method, which is a neti pot, but then you can also get kind of a squeeze bottle method. I prefer the squeeze bottle method because I just got to get it done.
yeah. Well, I don't like water up my nose at all, but I do this. It's like old yogi stuff. And so you get like a little pot, looks like an oil lamp, and you fill it up with saline water, and you put the stem of the pot in your nose, and you tilt your head, and you pour, and it goes from one side of your nose all the way to the other side and pours out. It's disgusting looking.
It is.
Go to YouTube and Google neti pot, and you'll see what I'm talking about. And then you do the other side, and it's just a nasal douche.
It is a douche for your face.
I like saying nasal douche.
I just like saying
I
douche
feel like
for your
that
face.
should be our new insult.
We could just say,
Hey, nasal douche.
I like douche face better.
You're a douche face if you're doing that, I
or
suppose.
face douche.
Yeah, well, you're douching your face, and it gets up in your sinuses, and it doesn't feel exceptional, but
But
it keeps
sometimes
you from
it
getting
helps.
sick.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess so.
I'm thinking that it's that and other stuff too, because every cold. Now this doesn't work with viruses because every cold starts in your nose, in the nasal passages. That's how it enters into your body. Viruses are different. You have a virus.
I think so.
This may not work. I might go home and next week have a virus. So we'll see. We'll see if that works.
I'll tell you how it started. I woke up Monday morning, so almost a week ago, with a scratchy throat. And it wasn't just dry. And it wasn't just that the heat was on all night. It was actually scratchy. Okay. And then a mild cough started that afternoon. And since then, I have had coughing fits to where I literally felt like I was drowning because there's so much happening in my chest. Yeah. So much fluid. But I finally took my ass out yesterday and went and got some.
Took your ass out? Did everybody see
with
it?
the rest of me.
You're just like
to the CVS.
Whipping out the ass?
And I got myself some medicine.
Yeah.
And I am going to start swearing by this medicine.
What is it?
It's just a CVS brand medicine. It's a severe cough and cold for daytime, and then the severe whatever flu shit for nighttime.
Flu shit?
Flu shit, yeah.
Okay.
You have to take, it's not like this 12-hour stuff that's supposed to be all great. You got to take it every 4 hours, and you got to be adamant about it. But I feel a lot better having taken it just overnight.
Very cool.
Yeah, so I have to go back to work tomorrow.
Do you remember Contact?
Yes, I do.
So I thought about this, and I hadn't thought about it in years. Contact, it was like the first drug I can remember as a kid that just seemed so cool.
Yeah.
It's a cool drug because I was so used to just aspirin, you know, and nothing cool about aspirin. And then all of a sudden, Contact was in a capsule. Half of it, I think, was blue. I can't remember. And then the other half was clear, and it had little tiny blue and white beads in it.
Yep.
And it looked so cool. Never seen anything like that.
Now I've seen many drugs like that.
Well, now I know, but I think that was the first. And then my wife remembered that there were color beads in it. And I think they did. They had like a cold version where they had color beads. But as a kid, it was the first drug that I wanted to take even when I wasn't sick.
Because it looked like
candy. Just because
it
looked cool. Or I just wanted to carry it around in my pocket.
So do you remember Actifed?
I remember the name.
That was my dad's go-to for his allergies.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Actifed. Yeah. Whenever I can find it, whenever I see it in a store, I buy it. I don't even know if it still exists. I think the last time I found it was like 6 years ago. But if I see it in a store, I buy it, even if I don't need it, because that stuff was awesome. Okay. Like way better than Sudafed, way better than like Tylenol sinus crap, way better. Actifed.
My drug of choice.
It's probably illegal now.
My cold drug of choice was Comtrex, which I don't even know if they still make that. When I was in college, we would get a care package at the beginning. They would give us just a bunch of different things, razors and things like that. I guess a lot of these companies use it as a promotion.
They probably don't do that shit anymore.
I don't know. Probably not. But Comtrex was, it was like NyQuil.
Okay.
And it came in like a little bottle, and you can put it in the little cup, and it had a lot of alcohol in it. And I can remember I was doing I was in a class called Children's Theater, and I had to play a young prince, and I was wearing yellow tights. I looked like Big Bird, and I was so sick on our performance day. And I took an entire bottle of Comtrex.
An entire bottle?
I was flying on stage
you were.
in my yellow tights.
I'm surprised you did that. That doesn't sound like something you would have done in college.
I had a cold, and I knew I had a performance, and I didn't want to get sick. And so I wasn't drunk, but I was feeling good. I was buzzed.
Well, because that's not all that's in there.
I know.
It's not all just the alcohol you were feeling.
Well, I mean, when I say an entire bottle, it was like one dose bottle. It was small, like promotional bottles.
Oh, okay.
I didn't have like an entire big, gigantic.
You didn't do like Lewis Black talks about in one of his stand-ups where he just spends a night with a whole bottle of NyQuil.
No, but I kind of want to. Speaking of that, let's do a little Would You Rather.
Okay.
Would You Rather, the game. Would You Rather, which we do every. I feel weird. We've almost done an entire month at your place.
I know.
It's like a whole.
Thank you so
thing.
much for traveling to me for once.
I'm going to toss the stones first. What we do is we drop color stones, and whatever color stone that we drop will coordinate with a question, and it's a would you rather question. Would you rather do something, and
then we'll get an answer, and sometimes we go off on tangents. Not us.
Okay.
Tangents.
I accidentally dropped 2, so I'm going to try it again.
Okay.
Going to do it again. I accidentally dropped 2 again, but I dropped green twice, so let's go with green.
All right, green. Green stands for ethics and intellect. So your question of would you rather is, would you rather be forced to put the family pet to sleep tomorrow? Oh, my God.
That's wrong.
That's a horrible. Be forced to put the family pet to sleep tomorrow.
Wait a minute. Which one are we talking about?
Oh, stop it. You have 5 of them. Or let the pet live out its natural life with the understanding that you will have to cook and eat the carcass the day after its natural death.
That's stupid.
That is a stupid question.
That's insensitive and wrong.
It's extremely insensitive and wrong.
I mean, I thought I was going to pick the other one because I'm not a big fan of just kind of like. And there's a lot of people just like, oh, the animal's old and I can't take care of it anymore. It's time to put it down.
Yeah.
And I won't do that until the animal is just completely non-functional.
I know.
Because I think I look at the animal like my grandfather. It's just like I wouldn't put my grandfather down,
right?
Just because he couldn't move,
just
or
because
whatever.
now he's going to be expensive,
It's
or
just like
he needs extra care.
Yeah, I mean, assisted suicide. I'm
all for that myself.
I don't have a problem with it, but I just feel like that you have to really know. I mean, you can't.
Yeah.
You know, you got to make the call at the right time.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that. Well, you remember my dog Kiefer?
Mm-hmm.
I took him to a vet, and he was like, "You might want to think about now maybe putting him down." I was like, "No."
Yeah.
And he ended up living 6 more months, and he was fine. He got over what he had, and then he was fine. And then 6 months later, I mean, that was 6 months that longer than I get to spend with him. So I'm just not in a hurry to do that.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I would pick. No, neither of the two. I'm not going to eat my damn dog. What kind of question is that?
I know. I don't know. That's weird. I mean, I suppose if I were starving or...
No, he's sick. He's old. Why do you want to eat an old, sick dog or
That's
a
true,
cat?
too. That's true, too.
No.
No.
That's a ridiculous question.
Okay. Let's be
my
done
money
with
back.
the ridiculous question. It's yellow.
All right. Yellow. Oh, no.
Yes.
I'm not wearing my glasses. Yellow is
Here.
random.
You can use these.
Would you rather place... Oh, no. Here we go. Would you rather plow a 1/4 acre plot of land by hand...
Oh, my gosh.
Or...
A quarter acre?
20, yes.
Okay.
Or 20 acres with an X to help you.
Oh. Which X?
It doesn't say.
Okay.
I don't know if you get to pick.
So either going to plow 20 acres by hand
Yes.
with an X.
20 acres with an X to help you, or a 1/4 acre plot of land by hand.
I assume the 20 acres with the X would be using machinery.
It doesn't say.
This is just
Oh, wait a
stupid.
minute. Maybe it says an axe.
Oh, my gosh.
I like the X, though. I think that's more fun.
That is kind of fun, actually.
Let's read it actually now that I'm going to be wearing glasses.
This
Would you
is
rather
ridiculous.
plow a 1/4 acre plot of land by hand, or 20 acres with an ox
With an ox.
to help you?
Your eyesight is horrible.
I've got a couple of X's that look like oxes.
That's true. That's true.
So
at least one.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so there you go. You get 20 acres with an ox, or a 1/4 acre totally by hand. That makes a little more sense.
That does
although
make
maybe not as much fun.
more sense. I think I would go with neither because I don't know how to plow.
You got to choose one.
Okay.
And if the ox dies, you have to put it to sleep and eat it.
Oh God, I've never liked ox.
I love ox food.
Let's go with the 20 acres with an ox
Really?
because there's no time frame, right? I could just take my
guess.
time and do it.
I mean, a 1/4 acre is nothing. And
But you got to do it with your
plow
bare hands.
Well, I think you get a plow, but you get it just by hand.
I can't push
you're
a plow.
pushing the plow by
There's
hand.
no way I
guess.
could push a plow.
I don't know.
An ox can pull a plow. All I got to
right.
do is supervise.
20 acres is a lot of land, though.
All right. I'm going with the ox. At least I'd have company.
Okay.
Okay.
Another Zabando down. Hey, okay, so I'm going to talk to you about this. I can't even believe I'm going to be talking about this, but
Okay.
I'm going to.
Go ahead.
So I found this movie. I found this movie that I want to tell you about.
Okay. Tell me about the movie.
It was a religious film.
Okay.
It's a Bible film. Now, I'm not a religious person. I'm not a Bible person anymore. I used to be. Years ago, I was into religious movies. I loved good and sometimes good, bad religious movies. Like 10 Commandments. Love that movie.
Okay.
It's a good, bad movie.
Okay.
But still, it's like one of the better ones.
Uh-huh.
Best one was a mini-series called Jesus of Nazareth.
Okay. I've
starring
seen that.
Robert Powell as Jesus. My favorite Jesus portrayal of all time.
White guy.
But but he didn't really look white. He was white, but he could have been other ethnic background as well. But anyway, but I've seen so many bad ones. There are so many bad ones.
Yes.
And it's just hard to find good Bible films. Now, there was a film that came out recently, Noah.
Yeah.
With, who's the Australian?
Crowe.
Yeah, Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
Never seen that one. I might see it because I'm working on a project right now where I'm having to design a Noah's Ark. So that's why I was watching. I was looking for, I kind of wanted to see what ark, inside of a boat would look like an ark or whatever.
Sure.
So I was looking for that kind of stuff. So I found this movie, and I believe it's just called Noah's Ark.
Mm-hmm.
And it was made in 2014.
So it's fairly new.
I thought this is going to be a really bad Bible film.
Yeah.
I'm only going to watch it just so I can look at some of the sets, maybe get some ideas of design and stuff like that. One of the best Bible films I've ever seen.
Who's in it?
No one you know. It's British.
Okay.
None of the stars. I didn't recognize anybody, but such great acting. But here's what was great about it is the story. It's not religious at all. You don't have to be religious to watch it. You don't even have to believe the story to watch it. In fact, one of the things I felt like after watching it is just how it really showed how completely ridiculous that it would be to expect one guy and a few of his kids to build a giant boat that's going to survive 40 days, and then all these animals get on it, no one killing each other, and just all of that stuff just seems so ridiculous. But the movie didn't even address that. The movie was about family.
Okay.
In a good way, and it was very interesting, and it's something, you could show kids.
But wasn't Noah sleeping with his daughters?
No, he after the flood, he got drunk and got naked and drunk, as we all do after the flood. What's it's the thing. And his sons, and I don't know if his daughter saw him, but I think his sons saw him and covered him up because he was laying out naked and drunk. So
I hated it when my dad did that.
Yeah, my thought was always, did God at that point go, well, crap, I killed all these other people for screwing up and saved you, and now you're going, why don't you just strike him down too?
Just stop.
But anyway, that kind of stuff didn't really enter into the story. And in fact, what was interesting, I thought, and this is not a spoiler, but when the flood started, the movie stopped. And then it didn't pick up again until after the flood was completely gone. So the flood was like not even a part of the movie.
Okay.
So it was the planning, but the movie itself was more about family, and it was so good, and it was so real. And if you're into just good Bible films, and not only that, but just good films, you watch it even if you don't like Bible films, because it's not what you think it's going to be. It was so well done.
So what about it was good? Was the dialogue good? Was the acting good?
And the acting was really good. Direction was great. Sets were great. All of it was so good. And the storyline, it was so unique. I liked the fact that it wasn't preachy. I liked the fact that it wasn't religious. I liked the fact that the guy who played Noah, who was so much fun, knew it was crazy. He was like, I know this is dumb, but it was about family thinking he was insane and then deciding to stick with him, and it was just a wonderful, wonderful story. And that was the best part, was the storytelling. And not everything turned out the way you think it will turn out. Not everything turned out happy ending. There was some bad things that happened in it, and but I just think it's such a great film. It was one of my favorite films I've seen in a while. Happens to be
interesting,
crazy Bible story, and I'm going to show my wife. My wife, I think, will love it too.
Where can we find this movie?
I found it on Amazon Prime. It's free.
Okay,
you watch it for free
if you have Prime.
Yeah, I couldn't watch the Noah movie free. The Russell Crowe Noah.
Yeah. So
I just picked this one, and like I said, I honestly thought this is going to be a bad Bible film.
Right.
I was so prepared. It was so charming, so well done, and man, it needs more promotion because it was such a good film.
Okay.
So I'm saying watch it because you'll love it. And it got like 3 out of 5 stars, which kind of pissed me off because it was a great movie. And I think a lot of people rated it just because it's a religious film.
Sure.
And just, it didn't spend a lot of time on the logistics of how this was going to happen. And I think the movie was just like, we're not going to be about that. We're going to be about family. We're going to be about devotion, love, dedication. And it was just very cool.
Cool. Well, maybe I'll take a double dose of my nighttime medicine and watch it.
Do it, because I would like to know what you think. You're also kind of a non-religious person. Just what you think of it, whether you enjoyed it. I think you will.
Okay. All right. So there's a recommendation from Rick for a Noah's Ark movie.
Believe it or not, a Bible film.
Interesting.
What about you? Anything good that's been happening with you? Seen any good movies lately?
I haven't really seen much of anything lately except my pillow.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. Being this sick really upsets me emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
I get depressed. It was just today I was finally able to do a load of dishes and a load of laundry. And that bout kicked my ass.
Right.
So the fact that my kitchen is somewhat clean right now really upped my spirits. And I did that first thing this morning. Toffee had to go out at 4 o'clock this morning. And then, of course, she had to go out again at 8. So at 8 o'clock in the morning, I got up, I let her out, I came back in. Before I went back to bed, I just loaded the dishwasher, started it, and then I went back to bed. When I got up, my kitchen was clean, and it made me feel pretty good. So when I knew you were coming over, I realized I hadn't showered since Thursday.
Oh, no.
It's Sunday.
Oh, no.
So I thought, you know what? I think just taking a shower, as much energy as I'm going to expel
back on.
doing it, I should go ahead and do it. And I did. And I'll be honest with you, they're not lying when they say, just take a shower.
Yeah.
You'll feel so much better.
It does help.
It really helps. Taking a shower, putting on clean clothes.
Get in the hot tub. It's too bad it's too
I don't
cold.
have a hot tub.
Go get in our hot tub.
I can't.
It's too cold outside, though.
It's too cold outside. My lungs couldn't handle it. And I'm not driving all the way to your house, clearly, which is why you're here. So, but yeah, other than trying to get work done, not being able to keep up on my deadlines because my eye and because I'm sick. I mean, the eye injury happened on the 1st of the month. Okay. It is currently what? The 26th, 27th, 26th. And I am still dealing with that. I will say it's healing finally. It's finally starting to heal.
Well, that's a good thing.
That's a very good thing, especially since I'm sick.
They didn't have to scrape it.
They did not have to scrape it, and they may still not have to.
Okay.
But
everything will look like it's got a tear in it, though.
no,
See this line on everything.
no, I that's impossible. But what I do see is it is blurry, so I may have some permanent vision loss.
I don't think so.
It's blurry. It's bad.
No.
Either way, it's getting better. It's going to take some time. But January 2020 for me sucks ass.
Yeah, for sickness and stuff.
And I don't want to be a downer, and I don't like to complain.
But that's all kind of through the prism of your own specific circumstances.
Yeah.
There are other things that go on every day and all day long that are actually. Oh, you got a house, you got a dog, you got.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm
got
grateful for
food.
everything I do have, and I'm in a good place.
Do you need ramen?
I do need ramen.
Ramen.
I'm almost out of ramen.
I meant to bring you chicken. My mom. Oh no, there's a Freud thing for you.
You're talking about your wife?
My
you called her
wife
your mom?
made some fake chicken soup, and she told me she was going to bring it, or wanted me to bring it, and I forgot. Sorry.
How dare you? Why would you even tell me that then?
I just remembered it.
I was actually
out
going to
loud.
tell you before you came over, have Maria make me soup and bring it.
Well, I am bringing you some. I think tomorrow I'm bringing you some turkey spread because I'm going up to the big Chattanooga.
Nice.
Yeah.
Going to one of our favorite stores up there.
Yeah, so I'll
Village
be bringing you
Market.
some stuff. So I was watching last night. We're talking about a lot about animals tonight. I was watching last night. What is it? Planet Earth? Is that the one with Sir Richard Attenborough who narrates it? It's so good.
It is.
And I know it's old.
Well, there's
but it's still-
there's Planet Earth 2 now too.
I don't think it was that one, although it might have been. I can't remember. But it was just so good when I was watching it. And then So let me ask you a question. And I know this is a sensitive subject for you.
For me?
Yeah. But I have a question. So when you're watching a nature documentary,
Yeah.
what pains you the most? When an animal kills another animal, you watch them hunt down and they stalk and kill another animal. or when they don't get the animal and have to go starving? Which hurts you the most when you're watching it?
That's a hard question.
And it's so difficult.
It is a very difficult question because I don't want to see. Like, I was just watching, because I put that on for Toffee sometimes when I leave in the morning, so she has something to listen to.
Right.
And I had turned it on the other day, and I was watching wildebeests running from hunting dogs. Mm-hmm. And the wildebeests, they obviously what they try and do is they try and make them run so that they scatter and leave a newborn or sick animal in the back, and then that's the one that they catch and kill. It hurts me to see that happen. I love it when the baby lives. Like in this particular instance, the mama saw that the baby got out of the the herd, was separated from the herd. So she went and she got in between the baby. She went back. She got in between the baby and the dog, and she started bumping the dog as they were running and blocking him from getting to her baby. And then they rejoined the herd, and yay, everybody was fine. Right. And in another episode, the wolves made a mistake, went the wrong way.
Yeah.
Caribou got away. Right. I don't like to see any animals starve. And I know that animals in the wild eat other animals.
They got to.
They have to. That's all they have.
They got no Kroger.
Right. So, so when there is an entire herd of caribou, which, mind you, used to be much, much larger than it is now, but let's not go there. It's still really fucking huge. If one caribou gets killed to feed 6 wolves, I'm kind of okay with that.
And they're kind of assholes anyway, aren't they, caribou? They're a little bit.
Well, they'll hurt you.
Yeah.
I mean, a reindeer
jerks.
With those antlers, they're going to kick your ass.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't like it when I see a bunch of animals attack one animal. I don't think that's fair either. But that's how they hunt.
I know.
That's how they have to do it.
That's kind of my point. It's like, so last night I watched a tiger get a monkey.
Yeah.
And it's just sad. And it's just like, but I know the tiger's got to eat.
Yeah.
And so I was just thinking, what's wrong with this? It's just like, it's kind of a human thing, Yeah. And especially if you're a vegetarian, it's like, it's a little unnatural, but you can kind of live in your little bubble. But and then I watched a badger get a prairie dog, which was sad, little baby pup.
Aww.
Prairie dog. And then I watched like a bobcat. I can't remember the exact cat. It was like in the north, in the snow, and it was hunting, and it found a rabbit, and it starts chasing the rabbit. The rabbit got away, and so I was like, "Damn!" And then it got another one, and it's like, "Aha!" And then it starts chasing around, and that one got away. So the narrator says something about 2 times it got away, so it used a lot of energy to chase those rabbits, and then it didn't get food.
Right.
So it's like if it doesn't get a kill really quick, it'll die. It won't make it through the winter.
Exactly.
So I think what happens to me though, I don't like watching it on TV. I can't stand when the animals kill each other on the TV. So I'm always rooting for them to get away, and then I'm like, okay, and then when the camera turns off, they'll find another one.
That's what you tell yourself?
Yeah, it's like, I don't have to watch it then. They'll find one.
That's what you tell yourself.
Those lions will get a wildebeest.
There's 2 things that bother me about those kinds of shows. And I know that they're showing it to us just because it's part of nature. I saw a show once where the lioness hunt group, they had their food source was diminished.
Yeah.
Not a lot of antelopes, not a lot of that.
Right.
They went after an elephant. For lions to go after an elephant, they have to be super, super desperate because an elephant could kill a lion.
Well, okay, let me tell you what I saw. I think it was this morning.
The thing about that, though, that I don't like, it's not that they're going after an elephant. It's that they're so desperate.
Right.
They're starving.
Right.
This is their only option.
Well,
and they're risking their lives to eat.
And this is along the same lines because they said that this is very unusual. And in fact, it's the only place. It was like in Canada. It's like right outside the Hudson Bay, somewhere in Canada. And it was like this is the only place, the only corner of the world this is known to happen. Polar bears hunting whales.
Yeah,
it was so weird in the water.
Yeah,
like targeting and hunting a whale. I never knew polar bears hunted whales.
Well, they're starving.
I know.
And that's The other thing that I don't like to see on those shows is I was watching an episode and they were watching these flamingos, I guess, birds with long legs, and they have to walk through to go find water, and they have a bunch of little babies with them, and they have to walk through these salt fields, and this one baby, he got a buildup of salt on his lower legs, and he couldn't continue.
So he's pre-seasoned.
And they just kept, oh my God. Oh my God.
I'm just pointing it out.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
So he couldn't keep up.
Right.
And they left him there.
Yeah.
And he was just walking alone by himself.
Sorry, salt boy.
Trying to keep up, and he couldn't. And I wonder, what do the camera crews do? Do they just let him continue on?
Well, I was watching the documentary Jane.
Yeah.
About Jane Goodall. It was some early footage. So I think it's a new documentary. It's on Netflix, and it's some footage that they found of Jane Goodall in like the 70s.
Okay.
And they thought it had been missing, and they found it or lost, and they found it in like 2014. So her photographer they were showing would like film, and they were filming a lot of animals eating each other and stuff, and in trouble, and some of the monkeys and chimps that they loved having diseases and like getting beat up by other chimps and all this stuff, and they can't do anything. They just have to sit there and watch it and film it, and they have to stay out of the way. They can't that's not something they can mess into. They just have to let it happen.
So you're telling me that the camera crew couldn't just pick that little bird up and...
I think they could. They don't, though. That's the whole thing. It's like they have to. I'm sure it hurts them as well, but they can't. They have to just not.
Oh my! I could never do that job. I could never. I would want to
couldn't
save
either.
all
I
of
know,
them.
but I think they know it's actually bad for them to do that.
Yeah, I suppose. Anyways, how depressing can we get today?
Yeah, we should stop. That's what happens when you get all sick. Well, let's put it into the podcast real quick. I do want to say something really quick.
What do you want to say?
I want to thank our friend Koozie Mike, who we've asked people to do this a lot, just to post onto their own Facebook page about our podcast. They don't have to write a bunch of stuff. You know, you can just say, "Hey, I listen to this podcast. Check it out." Whatever.
Yeah.
So, and I don't have it with me, so I can't read everything he read. But Koozie Mike wrote this amazing review of our podcast and posted pictures, and he posted it to his website, his Facebook page, which I thought was so cool.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate that.
And I think we got a little note from Patrick, which I didn't bring with me, so we'll read it next week.
Okay, sorry, Patrick.
But we love it when people communicate with us
Absolutely.
and interact with us, and that's why we have all the Facebook page, and that's our payment. We don't get paid to do this.
We don't. We just get to hang out with each other, and I get to spread my germs.
That's right.
This is fun
make the world
for me.
Sicker. But you know, it doesn't hurt just to say hi or to tell other people about the podcast, and we love it when you do. But we are on Facebook. Look for our Facebook page. We're on Twitter and where else are we on? Instagram
sometimes.
Yeah, and YouTube.
Here and there, you can find us. You can download us anywhere you can get podcasts.
Yeah.
And if you subscribe, they're automatically downloaded if you tell it to.
And we have a lot of new people out there, and a lot of the new people have never heard us in our regular studio.
And I'm sorry about that. It's entirely my fault. Please stick around.
Very soon, we'll be back into our regular studio, and
yes.
and we'll pick up again on some of our regular features.
We also have some new listeners that decided to go back to the beginning and binge listen to us.
Which I think is awesome.
Which is awesome. I mean, there's plenty of footage out there.
There's a lot of stupid stuff.
A lot of stupid stuff. So much stupid stuff.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's talk about this little
beverage.
Yeah.
Yeah, so again, what we're drinking is Wyndridge Crafty black cherry and apple cider. I'm sorry, black cherry hard apple cider. It's got 5.5% alcohol by volume, and it's by Wyndridge.
What do you think?
We heated it up because Mama's sick.
Yeah,
and I don't mind it. It's not
Really?
my favorite hot beverage.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely like more of a lemon lime flavor if I'm going to go with a heated alcoholic beverage.
Okay.
This one isn't bad though. I'm interested to see what it tastes like cold.
That's my feeling. But I can only review it hot because I haven't had it cold yet.
Right.
I have a feeling I'm going to go have a cold one here in just a second because I want to taste what it tastes like cold.
Okay.
Drinking it hot, I have to say this is one of the worst things I've ever had in my mouth. I
Wow.
don't want to look. See, I don't want to drink the rest. This is nasty. The flavor is horrible. I feel like it tastes a little more like lemon than it tastes. I can't taste any black cherry, and in fact, I can't really taste any. It tastes like water, hot water with baking soda in it. That's what it tastes like to me.
That's an interesting.
It's very kind of. It's a soury kind of.
Yeah, it's
but
definitely
no
sour.
flavor. No flavor in it. I don't like it at all.
Then I suggest you don't drink it.
I'm giving it a 1.
Wow.
Those are, and I didn't like last week's either. So this is like 2 1s in a row.
Wow.
But I thought it was going to be wonderful, and I was so looking forward to it. And I put it in my mouth, and that's nasty.
It's
It's got it smells like sake.
like it does smell like sake.
But
Do you like your sake hot or cold?
I kind of had this talk, I think, with my wife a few weeks ago, and I've always had hot sake, and I heard someone said that in Japan they never drink it hot; it's always cold.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Have you ever had carbonated sake?
No,
It's really good.
is it?
Yeah.
I like sake. My problem with sake is it's just it smells like it's something really strong, but it has the alcohol is just nothing. It doesn't have a kick to it, really.
That's weird because to me, when I taste sake, it feels very alcoholic in my mouth.
It does, but I never feel it. I don't get buzzed, or I don't feel loose, or I don't get drunk on it or whatever. Maybe if I have enough, but I don't.
There's a bar in downtown Decatur called Brush. Well, it's a restaurant called Brush. And they make a drink there that we've talked about before called the Mr. Miyagi.
That's right. Cocktail.
Yeah, but they also have one of the largest selections of sake.
Okay.
So maybe you and I should go down there and do a sake tasting.
Well, you know what? They have a lot of Japanese whiskey, including some Japanese Scotch whiskey, which I think is weird sounding. But
Yeah.
but I'd like to try some of their whiskey.
Okay, it's a
Japanese
date.
whiskey. Yeah.
We'll go
we
down
should
to
there
Brush
just
and
have
we'll get drunk
a lot of
and
sushi and stuff too.
We'll be sure an Uber so we don't drive home.
All right, people, thank you. We're going to stop spreading our germs to you.
Thank
We're going to put a
goodness.
stop to this podcast right now. Please say hi to us anytime you want. We will be better very soon.
Hopefully.
And we'll be broadcasting from our
studio next time.
And we'll have some things, I think some exciting things to talk about.
Thank you for listening.
Just waiting for those times. Also, don't drink this black cherry stuff. Oh, Sherry's hacking. All right, so we're going to say goodbye. Bye.
This is a Violet Jester Media podcast.